foul! Oh, shame! Gascoigne going to have a crack. He is, you know. Oh, I say!
Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good evening. Tottenham Hotspur have signed. No, we haven't really. Tottenham Hotspur are in talks with Lens. No, we're not. OGC Nice for Jean-Clair. I'm led to believe that it is Todibo. The French international centre half, who is owned by Nice, who are owned by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who is 25% owner of Man United, who also want Jean-Clair Todibo. Perchy, Romero said we're in talks with them. What does this mean? What's happening?
What does it mean? Well, from what it takes, from a lot of what I've read about with Romero, is that Spurs have spoken to the player and the player's agent and have sold him the dream of Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, did they bring the magic beans and everything along with it? But supposedly that Todibo has been sold with the project, whatever you want to call it, at Tottenham, and Spurs are now in talks with Nice about getting this deal done. The one thing Romero did say, but I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but he did say this is going to be a hard one to get done. So, look, I'm not bursting anyone's bubble. By the way, I think this lad is an amazing football player, amazing centre-half. If we can get this over the line, this is a sign of intent. That's all I'll say. It's a sign of intent if we can get a player like this over the line. I think there's a lot to go before anything happens, but this is a sort of player that we have been talking about, Savva. We've been talking about it on here together where we've said we need strength at centre-half. Not Lloyd Kelly, no disrespect to him, but this is the sort of player that Spurs need to be getting. Now, get it done. And do you know the other thing, the other key bit? This stuff's happening now, not in a month's time. Because it feels like with Tottenham, the 20th of January is when we hear about, that now they're in talks. No, we're in talks in December. Get it done quickly.
Yeah, it's certainly nice to know that. I mean, we always hear reports, right? I think this is the key thing to mention, that we always hear reports about who we're going to be talking to, when we're going to be looking to sign them. But we don't normally get the immediacy in December of we're in talks. You know, we hear rumors, but this is different, right? This is
very much.
This is green shoots of the new process, of the new of the new project that's being implemented, of how Postecoglou wants things to go, or are we getting a bit carried away?
No, I think there's a bit of both. Let's be fair. The one thing we have to remember here, there's no bid being put down. So before we say anything, there's no bid or anything that's gone down. But it's also, for me, it's always a balance. This is one of those where let's not get too carried away, but let's not get too pessimistic. Because I will always say, before we start sitting there shouting praise for Tottenham and we may have changed our approach, let's wait till he's holding a Tottenham shirt before we start talking about that. Because we had all this conversation, by the way, this time last year, right, with Pedro Porro. It's going to get done immediately first week in the window. It got done on deadline day. So we also have to be balanced when we say that. Let's get excited. This is a top player, really, really good player, but no bid's been done. Spurs are starting the talks with Nice, but this is one of those I want to see in. If Spurs are intent to really, really push on with Ange Postecoglou, this young man, I want to see in immediately. Exactly. Tom's right. Day one. Imagine what a pleasant start to the new year is. Spurs
a pleasant
start.
I like it. I forgot how posh you were.
Windsor again, haven't I?
It's a pleasant signing. It will be a pleasant
No,
surprise.
no,
I like it.
Would be. What I was actually trying to say, it would be a pleasant start to the new year where we've got a new centre half, not just any old centre half, a really, really highly talented, very, very good defender. A defender, by the way, that is in a defence that is the second best in Europe.
In Europe, yes.
Just a couple of goals just behind Inter Milan, who have been outstanding in Italy. Nice at the moment have been outstanding at the moment.
Should we give some meat on those bones?
Yeah, sure.
When we're talking about the second best defence, we're talking about 9 goals conceded in 16 league games. 9.
He's played all but 2 of them.
Yes, 9 games. Now, bearing in mind, he actually got sent off at the weekend and they went down to 10 men. They still only conceded 9 goals. Who's got the best defence? Do we know?
Inter Milan.
It's Inter Milan, is it?
Inter Milan, I think, have conceded 7. I did my little bit of research.
Let's have a look. Inter Milan, 7.
Whoa. They conceded 7 goals. That's mad, isn't it?
That is absolutely crazy because, wow, that's crazy. So listen, a big up to everyone inside. First of all, how are you all? Sorry, not to ignore you. Just very excited about any kind of transfer news that involves Tottenham Hotspur. Listen, let us know in the chat. We're going to get to this type of conversation. Don't worry, we will get to this type of conversation because obviously it's the first thing that people think of. Because who does he start over and all of that? But I think it's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than 2. Do you know what I mean? I think it's about the future as well. But look, he's 23 years of age, a French international now. And one thing to note is that for the last 3 years, he's had a really good stewardship. He's been playing centre half alongside Dante, the ex-Bayern Munich and Brazil centre half, who is 40. He's 1 year younger than me and still playing top-level football.
And he's actually playing better than he has. He's one of those ones that's a centre-half that's getting better with age. I read a lot about it, and he's just getting a lot better.
Yeah. Listen, with experience. What have you seen of? By the way, somebody said that's not true, Perchy. I don't know. What did you say?
What about Inter Milan?
No, I don't know. Sorry, Big Boss. I don't remember anyone saying we would immediately sign Porro. What did you say?
Oh no, we were though. Let's not rewrite history.
I think we did give credit. Sorry, just to say, didn't we say that this is the new, this is good, this is exciting, this is different? Because we are in talks. Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, I'm saying it's good. It's good. Well, all I was saying was what I don't want to see is all this stuff, all great news now, and then we're still talking about it on deadline day. That is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? One of those. We get it started early. Him hold the shirt first week of January. That is massively good.
No, absolutely. By the way, for anyone that's interested, Perchy and I are live now. We're going to be doing a more chilled show at 7:45 for Liverpool versus West Ham in the final quarterfinal of the last quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup or the EFL Cup or the League Cup, the Carling Cup, the Rumbelows Cup, whatever you want to call it from the years gone by, to see who will be joining Middlesbrough, Fulham, and Chelsea. So listen, I mean, what will happen there? I've got Liverpool in my ACCA, not to give it away, but I've got Liverpool in my ACCA. And anyone who cares about ACCA Watch, it is strong. It's starting in 15 minutes with Barcelona for me. Big up to everyone inside the house. Big up to Wes. How you doing, man? I said, big up, gents. I just hope we make decent signings early in Jan. Daniel Hammett has said, my top 3 choices for a new centre-back would be Todibo, Simican, or Bramthwaite of Everton. Good young player. I think all 3 are young, wouldn't cost the world, and can be at the club for years to come. I agree with that. You agree with this sentiment?
Yeah, listen, I think Todibo, Simican, Bramthwaite, all players I'd have at Spurs, definitely.
Yep. Absolutely. And if you haven't smashed the like button, come on, let's talk about this. Let's smash the like button. Please do subscribe. We'll be doing a 12K giveaway. We're very, very nearly, I believe, Perchy, at 12K.
36
people away from 12K. The link is in the chat. It is pinned, and smash the likes. It's almost like a form of payment.
And they're all above you now. Big up Susie, by the way. We love this, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. You see above my head, let me point to it. I think it's above my, there. If you take a picture of this barcode with your phone, it will take you to all of our links for YouTube, for Twitter, X, for Instagram, for TikTok,
Twitch.
for Twitch, for all of them. So if anyone does want to follow us on all of those socials, please do come over and follow us. Let's get to the obvious. Now, I'm fully aware he's not signed. I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a conversation, right, for whatever centre-half comes into Tottenham. The age-old question is going to be, well, hang on. You've got Van de Ven. You've got Romero. There's your partnership.
Yep.
What does another top centre-half do? What do you make about all that?
I think, look, if we want to talk about Tottenham being realistic and serious, I think it's the key word here. You need to be getting 4 centre-halves that are capable. None of this, I'm bored of it. We had it all with Harry Kane, right? We had all of this with Harry Kane. Oh, we can't sign another striker because we've got Harry Kane. No. If we want to push on, the likes of a Todibo are exactly what we need. Isn't it better to go and get a centre-half that can push Romero, push Van de Ven? Because we need to be at that level. I don't want players at this football club at the moment that are automatically starting.
Yeah, I agree.
You earn your right to play for Tottenham. This is Tottenham Hotspur that we live and breathe, and we love the football club. Earn your right to. No player is adamant to start. And the one thing with Todibo, by the way, the other great thing about Todibo, he can play it right back. He can also play it right back. So you've got a little bit of versatility in a player like Todibo who can play right back. He's very, very good on the ball, by the way. Very, very good on the ball. I've watched some of him. I've watched some of him and stuff. And you watch him and go, this is a player that can really play with the ball. Really, really good. And Big Boss Man's got a great point. We can be versatile and play 3 at the back if we need to. Great point. We can alternate. I'm not saying they're suggesting that we have to play 3 at the back, but in the sense of we can alternate and change it. We're not so... what's the right word for it? Predictable. We're not predictable.
Not so rigid. I think one of the key things as well is let's take it away from short-term thinking.
Yeah.
Right? Let's look long-term with this. Now, obviously, the immediate conversation is going to be, oh my God, who plays? Well, hang on. We've already witnessed in the first 17 games of the season, he would have played plenty of games, right?
Yep.
You've got Van de Ven coming back from a serious injury. You've got Romero, who loves the suspension and is quite injury prone as well throughout his time at Tottenham.
Yeah.
But more importantly than any of that, Perchy, surely we're looking to the future. Surely, touch wood, right? This bit of plank here. Surely we get Europe next year and we've got to start thinking about playing multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need all 3 of them. So when we talk about just which 2 are going to play, who's going to miss out, surely this is the problems that the best managers and the best clubs have. And what last thing I'll say about this, look at Man City. They've got Ake, Vardiol, Diaz, Stones, and Akanji who can all play centre-half.
Yeah.
I don't see any of them struggling for game time, do you?
Well, that's the thing. We can't, we've been crying out for squad depth and we go and get a centre-half. We haven't signed yet, but we go in for a centre-half that can massively improve our squad depth. Then we go, well, is he going to start? Yes, he will be playing a lot of games.
Yeah,
he will be. And the thing is what I want Ange Postecoglou to have a problem in team selection. Sounds weird, right? But you want him to sit there and go, do you know what? I've got 14 players that deserve to start for me right now. 14, 15, 16 players that have earned a right to start for us. That's a headache you want a manager to have. Not a headache for a manager where he's sitting there going, oh, I've got to patch up this back four because we've got one suspended, one injured, one's basically had to play every game for the last 3 months. And what you've got now, getting the likes of a Todibo in, we need more, but it's building blocks. We're building a house. We're trying to get there.
Yeah.
This is a really, really good start. I think it's a really good start if he signs.
Yeah, of course. And I think one of the key things to note as well is, I know everyone wants to talk about Van de Ven and Romero. That's the partnership. Let's be fair. We've only seen them play 10 games together, right? Because of the injury to Van de Ven. You've got injuries, you've got suspensions, and the key thing that no one's talking about, lack of form. There are players that every player at some point will have a lack of form, right? Yeah. Wouldn't it be lovely to turn around and go to Van de Ven or to Romero? You've not been great the last 3 or 4 games. You look a bit tired. We're going to bring in Todibo. And when Todibo plays, you're saying to him separately, grab your chance. This is your chance to show why you should be in the team. I think it's a really, really nice problem to have. I think they're nice hurdles. I don't want to be that Tottenham. Remember the Tottenham under Poch when anyone you suggested we signed, our fan base was like, oh, but who's going to sign that's going to sit behind Kane? Who's going to sign that's going to sit behind Ali or Eriksen or Dembele? The big clubs don't think like that. The big clubs like lots of players, right? Man City, when they signed Grealish, it wasn't but who's he going to start in front of? It's another good player to add to the squad. So I think it's a really positive thing.
No, I agree. Listen, it's the start, hopefully. Listen, we'll caveat, he hasn't signed yet, but look, the news that's come out is very, very positive. Yes. And listen, I'm excited. I've seen this kid. He came through La Masia, and there was massive talks. There's massive talk about this kid being a really, really big player. Really big player. And look, as you mentioned, it's a great problem to have, right? It's a really great problem to have. Because what you have there, as you say, you want the likes of a Todibo coming in and anyone else of the ilk of that player that come into this football club and go, no, you're not a backup. No, we want a squad. We want a squad of players right now that if you're working your backside off in training, I'm starting you. There's no... And the one thing I'll give massive credit to Postecoglou for, and I've seen him do it a lot, no one's immune from getting hooked if you've not played well. Son, by the way, under other old managers, never happened. Doesn't matter how good or bad the likes of Harry Kane played, Heung-min Son, and insert a handful others, they will always stay until the end of the game, regardless. Postecoglou's hooked Son off at times, Maddison, and any other sort of player in that sort of level. That what we're seeing from this manager is that he's not afraid to take off players, and that will equally be the same when you bring in better players. He won't be afraid to not start a Romero or not start a Van de Ven or insert any other player in that combination. So it's a good thing. By the way, it's a really, really good thing because you want quality. We keep looking at our bench. All season, we look at our bench going, God, that's awful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested to know, is this actually minerals from Chelsea or is this just a...
Is it actually?
I don't know. The minerals Chelsea. I don't know. But anyway, big up to you. And big up to GBC. Are you worried about this aspect of, obviously, Sir Jim Ratcliffe owns OGC Nice. Todibo have been linked with Man United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is buying or has bought, I can't even remember, that saga's been going on so long, 25% of Man United. Do you see that being an obstacle in any way? Do you see this being paper talk? What do you make of that? Because if you're a Man United fan and you want Todibo and your new owner or your new part owner sells to Tottenham, how do you feel about that?
Well, look, I mean, let's be fair. I don't think it makes much of a difference. I think what Spurs have done here quite cleverly is kept it down low and gone, we'll get the player on side. Because it's all down to the player. If the player goes, I don't want to go to Man United, Nice can't do anything about it. They go, no, I want to go to Tottenham. Listen, I don't know the argument. At the moment, Man United are a mess. His agents will be sitting there to Man United's people going, well, what's going on? Your manager seems to be exiling players left, right, and centre. What are the training facilities like? Because we watched that interview with Piers Morgan and Ronaldo came out and said it was back to the 90s style stuff. What's going on with this, that, and the other? I've got Tottenham on the blower at the moment. They love the manager. The player loves the manager. He loves the project at Tottenham. They've got a massive, massive stadium, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not suggesting. So realistically, yeah, Man United could want this player as much as one. If the player doesn't want to go there, it makes no. Do you know what I mean? There's no argument. I'm only spitballing in a sense. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes there. But of course it's a question. Of course it's a question, right? But listen, the fact is Fabrizio didn't come out and say, we want the player is interested in both Tottenham and Man United. It will all be down to the player, or it will be down to the clubs to get the right thing in. He said that the player or the representatives of the player have spoken to Tottenham and the talks were positive. Was not in exactly those words, but that's what was said. So listen, I mean, we'll only know and we'll only find out down the line, of course. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just some breaking news from the Premier League is that Bournemouth v Luton will be replayed. I don't know why that was ever a doubt. I don't feel like you could have just said that. Yeah, it was always going to be replayed, but Premier League have just broken it on their website. So there is that. Yeah, listen, I completely agree with you. It's interesting at the moment. Look, Man United are a massive club, right? They are.
Yeah.
But at the moment, are they as attractive to join as the process that we've got going on? I don't know. I'm not saying they're terrible, but as you said, all doesn't seem right there. He's falling out with Rashford, with Sancho. You had the Ronaldo thing, all of the stuff with Harry Maguire. So it does seem like Mason Greenwood saga. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's going to be really interesting to see. By the way, I am starring some comments and I will bring them up as we go through. Lots of people in the chat are talking about Romero. No one's talking about Van de Ven. They're talking about Romero and saying, does this mean that we bring in Todibo and then Romero is sold in the summer? I've said all along, Perchy, that I don't think Romero will be here for too long. I think Romero will be here for another year and a half, 2 years max. And then I feel like he'll be at a Barcelona, Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich. I feel like he's got that kind of South American vibe that they like. And the South Americans tend to grow up wanting to play for those clubs. But at the same time, you know, no player is indispensable. What do you make of it? Like, should we be looking at it that one comes in and it must mean that one's going out soon? Or is this purely squad building?
No, I'm going to be more positive. There is going to be one coming in, one coming out. Eric Dier is going to be the one going out. And Todibo's coming in. That's what it is going to be. Yeah, look. Look, with the whole Romero thing, I think the Romero thing, I don't think he's leaving anytime soon. I think he will go at some point, but I don't think it will be a year and a half. I think he'll still be at this football club for maybe a couple, 2 or 3 seasons, maybe, but then maybe find a near down the line and stuff. But listen, it's one of those things, right? But you bring in a Todibo, and if a big offer comes in for Romero, you go, do you know what? We can consider it. Like, I think that's what's the beauty of it all, right? Tottenham don't necessarily have to sell a Romero to bring in a Todibo, for example. But do you see what I mean? So, like, I think it could be down the line very, very good in that sense.
Yeah, no, listen, I completely agree with you. This is an interesting take. This is an interesting take from Sean EJ Daniel, who's big up to you, Sean. I said no to Jean-Clair Todibo because I think Dorrington and Phillips can both be world class if handled well. That's a big statement. Not that he is not a great player, but with him now at 2 caps for France, he will want pitch time. I feel like, again, and this isn't just Sean, I think this is a lot of fans. Perchy, we've got to get out of this mindset of thinking that everyone bought is just going to be a substitute. We've got to get... We talk about how we want to chase down the big clubs. We talk about winning. We talk about winning league titles. We talk about winning trophies. But then we're still stuck in that, they're going to be subs. They're going to be subs. Rotation. And Dorrington and Phillips being world class. I mean, I don't know how we can say that when neither of them have had
there's no evidence.
1 second on a pitch for Tottenham.
Yeah, they've got to have played enough for us to go, do you know what? They are world class. But no, listen, I think that's the thing. I think if Dorrington and Phillips were the answer, they'd have played a game at the moment. With the injuries he's had at the back, they'd have played at least one game each. Neither of them have even got on the pitch. So I think we've got to be really, really careful when we talk about that.
Well, if you look, how many games have we played this season?
17. 18 if you count the cup.
Right. How many games has Van de Ven played?
10? Oh, God. 10? Yeah. I mean,
10 and a half. He's played 10 and a half. He's missed 6.5 games, right?
Yeah.
And is that 6.5 games? No, 7. I don't know. He's played 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, but he played 10 league games because he didn't play in the cup, did he?
Yeah. Okay. So he's played 10 league games. How many games has Romero missed this season? 3?
4. Yeah, 4, including the cup games. We count that one in.
So the first game of the season when he got injured, and then the 3 games where he was suspended, right? So already I'm looking at, look how many of those games this guy would have played. By the way, I'm seeing people call in. I mean, somebody said, I think this is a bit harsh. When we say Barca reject, do you know what?
That's harsh.
Do you know what? He was at Barcelona in 2019 when he was a 18-year-old kid. I mean, let's not do this, Bill. Come on. I think this is a little bit harsh. He's gone on to do very well at Nice.
Do you know what it is, though? This is the thing. I think people really misinterpret it. You don't realize how highly you have to get to the level to get through the Barca La Masia to then go and play for that Barca team. Not many players do. And if we're going to call every single one that goes through La Masia and then doesn't naturally get there, are they all rejects? I think that is crazily harsh because if you look at the team now, how many of them came through La Masia in the team that got on? Gavi, then it stops.
Sorry, what are we talking about? Current Barcelona squad.
Look at the current Barcelona squad. How many have gone through La Masia?
Oh, mate, loads.
No, right now, in the team
loads.
Right now. Who? Tell me.
Loads. What? Gavi? Pedri?
Yeah, Pedri didn't. They signed him. Bought him. They bought him from Las Palmas.
At what age?
Pedri. He was 17 or 18.
So, and he didn't play for La Masia?
He would have got in there, but he didn't go through La Masia. He came in and then he played there for a couple of years and then went into the first team.
Okay, well, they've got, what about 2 that are playing tonight?
Who?
Fermin Lopez, Balde.
Balde came through. Yeah, Balde does.
So Balde.
Yeah, Fermin Lopez came through. Yeah.
Lamine Yamal.
Yamal, yeah, of course, Yamal.
Right, they've got, mate. There's loads of them. There's loads and loads of Barca players that have come through.
You missed the question. How many players do they go through? So we're talking about 4 or 5 that have got through. How many don't get through? Is my
point. Sorry, yeah, sorry. I see what you mean.
What I'm trying to say is 5 of them get through into the first team, and the rest of them have to go somewhere. They're not all going to be able to play at Barcelona's level or that sort of level, right? I think that's what people miss on it.
Yeah.
Sergio Roberto did as well. Yeah, someone put in the chat.
Sergio Roberto. Yeah, so I'm not that far down on the chat yet. I like to, I like to post. I think everyone takes the effort. I'm always a firm believer in YouTube that everyone makes the effort to post a comment. So I'll at least bring it up on the screen so that people can see it. If United and Spurs come in for the same player, the player goes to United. We are not playing in the same ballpark. Is that true now? Years gone by, absolutely. Is that still true now?
I don't think it is now. I think we need to, and I think big up to you for the comment, by the way. Big up, but I think we need to get out of the Man United of old conversation. I think the only way.
Agreed.
I think whereas before we all look at Man United as that team of the Sir Alex Ferguson. It doesn't matter what happens. If you want a player, a Man United want him, he's always going to Man United. I don't think that's the case now. Listen, the one thing what Man United can do, and what's it? Is it Romero Alpha? you made a good point. The one thing what Man United can outdo Tottenham on is finances. So if Man United go and say to play, look, yeah, we agree, we're in a bit of a shake season. However, what if Tottenham are offering you 150 grand a week, we'll double it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Whatever they offer you, we'll double it. Then the player has to make the decision. Does he go to Man United or Tottenham? Then that's the only pull that at the moment Man United have got over Spurs. But if both at the moment, right this second, as of the 20th of December 2023, if the same contract is on the table for both teams, I think he picks Spurs right now. I think Spurs are a bigger proposition right now. Right in this moment, because I think there's so much in the air with Man United at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary Officer, big up to you, Gary. I hope you are well, my friend. Smash the like if you haven't, people. Has anyone seen Todibo play? Yes, I've seen Todibo play quite a lot for Nice. Has he got pace? Yes. Is he strong on the ball? Yes. Positionally, yes. Passing, he's got a lovely range of passing. I think he's got everything needed for a centre half. If I'm honest, I think he's got everything.
He is the. This might imagine it doesn't go right and we don't sign him, or it doesn't go well. I'll put it out there. I think he is the pinnacle of a 2023 centre half right now.
I agree.
His passing is special. He could do it. He does passes very similar to back in the day when Jan Vertonghen used to just ping a ball from the left-hand side over to the right-hand side, and it would fall to their feet, right? He made some brilliant passes. He's, I mean, if we get him, it's a great signing.
Yeah. Guys, from watching them in the academy, they can listen. I don't think that anyone's doubting that Dorrington and Ashley Phillips could be good, but I worry about fans calling players world class that have only been around for 2 or 3 years, let alone players that haven't even had a minute of the first team. So I think we've got to be really careful with throwing around superlatives.
What I want to see, the likes of Ashley Phillips and the likes of Alfie Dorrington, we use those two as they're the examples. I want them to go on loan in January. Give them 6 months now so they can, but go to a team where they will play every single week.
Agreed.
Let's talk about world class or wonder kid or whatever buzzword you want to use when we've seen these lads play a bit of football. They
Absolutely.
need to go somewhere where they play a bit of football.
Talking about world class, guys and girls, there's 178 of you in here and 63 likes. This is becoming a bit of a kind of epidemic within the Spurs YouTube channels. That when I'm on other YouTube channels for Man United fans, Arsenal fans, they like immediately. Spurs fans seem to be really, really reluctant to smash a like button that helps out YouTube creators that are giving them content about their club. Come on, guys and girls, smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We are 35 away from 12K, and we will give a shirt away. Angus is in the chat. I love it when Angus is in the chat. Angus, what I love about you being in the chat is this. For weeks, for months, you've been telling me that Arsenal are in talks with Tony, with Zubimendi, with Douglas Luiz, and you're signing them all. Yet when Spurs are in talks with a player confirmed by Romero, it's just because you're in talks with them doesn't mean you're signing them. I haven't seen anything from Romero to say that you're in talks with Ivan Toney yet. Have you, Perchy? Have I missed it?
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Absolutely mad. Yeah. Big up to Martin Knightsbridge. Always, listen, love Martin. Love Martin. Top guy. I'll give you a message later as well, Martin, that said, Merry Christmas to the dynamic Spurs duo. I think he's talking about me and you and not Sonny and Madison. But big up to you. Thank you very much. Let's look at a couple of comments. This is what I was just referring to. Angus knows how to alienate people, doesn't he? He loves it. Absolutely loves it. Skur, big up to you, has said, do you guys think if we buy Todibo, we're done with money signings in Jan? So I suppose that still leaves open the possibility, Perchy, of loans. What do you make of this?
I mean, look, I think the one thing with Spurs is they're very frugal in the way that they deal with stuff. So listen, it won't be a he's going to cost £50 million. So we're going to put £50 million into their bank account. Spurs will structure it in ways that you'll never imagine. There'll be something about Spurs winning an FA Cup in there or something that will pay them more money. Like, it will be structured in loads of different ways. And I don't think that's going to impact us on other transfers. I still stand by that we're going to sign 3. I stand by that we're getting 3 in January. Todibo being one of them now. I'll stick my neck on the line and say that will happen. Maybe a loan. Listen, the one thing with loans is loans can go in 2 ways. If we're going to get a loan in, I want to see us getting a loan in because it's with an option to buy and there's a realization. Let's just use, look, I'll use the example of Jota, who's at Al Ittihad. If we get him on loan with an option to buy him for £20 million, whatever, I'm just spitballing, it might be a bit more than that. I'm not against that. Like, that's a good deal. Like, why not? What I don't want us to do is go and get a player like in on loan for the sake of getting a player on loan. I'll throw back to last season, Dan Juma. Got him in on loan in January and then never played him. It was like, what a waste of his time as a player and waste of our time as a club. Like, so I do want to see a different approach with it, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely. I'll come to this in a minute, Rain. I'll come to that in a minute. Jessica, I'll come to this in a minute as well. Spurs Purse said, I am a moderator for Henry Wright TV and I would like to be a new viewer of this channel. Big up. Wow. You're absolutely welcome as a viewer. Big up to Henry Wright TV as well. Aquasub said, with these other leagues, I worry that they look good there, but the Prem is a step up and is very different. I'm sorry, I didn't even read the second half of the question. I've got to completely disagree. The Premier League is like 80% foreign. Do you know what? What makes me laugh is all of the Premier League is foreign, which means all of the players have come from abroad. Don't we say, they can't cope with it from other leagues? I'll ask you this. Where did Cristian Romero come from?
Italy.
Right. Where did Vicario come from? Italy. Where did Pedro Porro come from?
Portugal.
Where did Doggy come from?
Italy.
Van der Ven.
Holland.
Rodrigo
Germany. Sorry, apologies. Bentancur. Italy.
Right. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Sonny came from Germany. I love this. Yeah. When we say, it's at least 16 other teams that can beat anyone else on their day. Listen, I've watched Atletico Madrid lose games, Barcelona lose games, Real Madrid lose games, Bayern Munich, PSG, Juventus. Everyone, I don't ever understand this, that everyone thinks our league is so massively strong, whilst only 2 of our 4 in the Champions League managed to even get out their group. The other 2 finished bottom. So we've got to stop this. Just to give you context, here's a question for you. Think back, guys, to Man United Liverpool at the weekend.
Yep.
Right? How many English players do you think played in that game?
Didn't watch
right.
It,
but have a guess. How many English players played in the in that Premier League game?
What? I'm going to say Harry Maguire played.
No, he didn't.
Rashford played.
Right. Shall I tell you? Right.
You do it, yeah.
In Liverpool's lineup, Liverpool had 1 English player, and that was Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
In Man United's 11, Man United had 1 English player, Luke Shaw. So all of these players, they come over, I'm worried about how well they'll do. Man United versus Liverpool, which is one of the biggest fixtures in English football, there were 20 players that weren't English that have come from abroad. Like this misguided notion needs to stop, that players can't come and handle the Premier League. It's got to stop. It's absolutely madness.
I mean, it's right. It's the players that we all laud at Tottenham Hotspur. Most of them all of them have come from abroad. Ironically, at the moment, if you look at Spurs, the ones that are English in Spurs aren't very good. Eric Dyer, Oliver Skip. Do you know what I mean? I'm just
how many English players do you think played for Spurs against Nottingham Forest?
None.
None.
We're not calling. Can't count Brennan Johnson's Welsh. Yeah. So
yeah, Brennan Johnson's Welsh. So from Tottenham, Man U, and Liverpool this weekend. I haven't even checked the others. Let's have a look. Man City might have had a couple. Man City had Walker, Grealish, and Foden, right? So they had 3. Spurs had none. Man U and Liverpool had 1 each. Sorry, this whole notion is absolutely mad. Anyway, so I've got no worries about Jean-Clair Todibo coming into the Premier League and doing well. I heard all of this about Mickey van der Ven from people that had never watched him as well. Look, let's have a look at some of these comments. Somebody has said, I did see a good question that I liked. It was about loans. Somebody asked, apologies, I can't see it right this second, but somebody said, has anyone got any good examples of players that have gone out on loan and done well? That's a good question. People in the chat, who's gone out on loan and done what? Like when is sending a player out on loan, they've come back straight into first team type scenario.
Oh, as in ones that we've sent out.
Anyone, any player where a loan has really, really worked.
I mean, it's probably looking back. Danny Rose for Tottenham. I thought Kyle Walker for Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'm going a bit back. I mean, their loan deals worked for them in a sense.
Xavi Simons, not for Spurs. He's having a very good loan spell.
Great loan spell. Good question. Actually, it's a really, really good question.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just trying to look down at the Premier League at the moment on players that have gone out that are out at clubs on loan it's working for them. God, that's a great. Could you argue Ansu Fati hit and miss at Brighton?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It is an interesting one. I mean,
I like that question. That was good.
I remember, was it Danny Welbeck who went out on loan from Man United and came back? Am I thinking of Danny Welbeck or somebody there?
Yeah, he went on loan to Sunderland, didn't he? I'm sure.
Yes, that's Perchy. That's why you're here, mate. That's why you're here.
Oh, mate, I bring the brains to this channel.
You bring the brains. If anyone cares, by the way, it is Barcelona 0, Almeria 0 after 15 minutes of the game. It's all Barcelona. Colin has said too many foreign players in the Premier League means less chance for homegrown talent to make it as Spurs. Colin, it's always been this way. The problem is, and I don't know if you agree with this, Perchy, but is the foreign players don't cost as much as the English players. And I mean, what game was I was watching a game the other day? I think it might have been a championship game. Was it West Brom? I watched the end.
Leicester played the other day.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, yeah, they did. But I was watching West Brom versus somebody.
Yes.
And I remember looking at the two teams and going, everyone's foreign. Everyone's foreign. And Graham was with me while I was watching it. He said, yeah, but the difference is you probably pick up a couple of these foreign lads for £1 million, £2 million, £3 million. You're paying 15, 20 million for the English players. So,
but it's a great point, actually, because it's something we spoke about earlier today, this morning. What did we say this morning when we were talking about Dominic Solanke? Price tag. Everyone's saying 50, 60, 70 million pound. You can go out to Europe and get a striker of his quality for 20 to 30 million pounds. So why would you waste your money on a Solanke? The problem is because of Brexit and the way now it is easier for clubs to say, well, if you want our player, you lot don't have to then get a work permit for a player and all this lot, and that's what allows clubs to rank up their prices. Look, let's be fair. If someone tried to sign Oliver Skip, whether we like it or not, Spurs will be after 20 to 25 million pounds for him.
And he's definitely not worth that.
Exactly, that's my point. So, and that unfortunately is where we are at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Food for thought. Listen, everyone knows this channel. We love to talk about a varying array of subjects. I think it's the spice of life. It keeps things interesting. We'll go to East.
Before you go to that, I was just going to say, I've just been thinking of loan deals that work. Would you say Destiny Adoggy worked?
Yeah, we able to count that as a loan deal. I mean, he was there already,
I saw
wasn't he?
Put star in the chat, and it made me think that was why.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's difficult. I think what's good is, for example, Alfie Devine has gone out on loan and he's playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
Dane Scarlett's gone out on loan. He can't get any minutes of football.
Yeah,
so for me, I think you've got to send these players to the level they're at. And as much as Spurs fans go, oh my God, Dane Scarlett's this, Dane Scarlett's that. If he's not getting a game in the Championship, then you've got to take him out of that loan, put him either at the bottom of the Championship or back into League One so that he can get some minutes. Because if he's not ready for Ipswich, he's not ready for Tottenham, right? East London Gooner, big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, much appreciated, my friend. Has said, if we're such the best league, why is there 4 Spanish teams and only 2 English in the Champions League last 16? I do believe as well there's 4 Germans. Is there 4 German teams as well?
Leipzig went through, 3, isn't it?
Bayern Munich, Leipzig,
Dortmund.
Hang on, let's have a look. Hang on, 1 second. Champions League.
13th of December.
Hang on, yeah, so if you can find out,
it's on my
I'm
Instagram
sure.
Page, my friend.
I'm sure there's two countries with 4.
No. There's 2 with 3. So Madrid, Sociedad, Barcelona, Atletico for Spain, Bayern, Dortmund, and Leipzig for Germany. Inter, Lazio, and Napoli for Italy. And then it's England with Arsenal, Man City, and then there's Copenhagen, PSV, Porto, PSG, 1 for their countries, obviously.
Right, yeah. Listen, I think the key thing is East London Gooner. For me, these are things that change every year. Sometimes England has more, sometimes these other countries have more. I just find it so funny how how so many people in this country disrespect other leagues when they don't watch them. Like, I'm watching this game here, Barcelona v Almeria, and there's some good football games, some good players on the pitch. You know, I watched a lot of the German league. There's some really good footballers all over, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. And thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate that. We are currently at 96 likes and 210 of you in here. Come on, people. Like, come on. The like button. It's right underneath where you type. It's underneath where you type. And thank you to a couple of people who have since subscribed. We're now only 34 away from the 12K.
Can we get 12K today? God, I'm asking that for you lot now. Come on, guys.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone's kind enough to help us get to that 12K, but let's see if people will. If you would be so kind, subscribe. It is pinned, is in the chat. The next super chat, there's a few going on here, is I said, because the HMRC take 20% off English players' clubs. Look,
before you say that, lovely picture of the Sagrada Familia. It's literally just down the road from my house, my friend. Big up to you.
Oh, I live near there.
I do. I literally do.
Did you take that photo? Look, for whatever reason it is, that English players go for a really expensive price. And that is why clubs will go out to other countries. Like, let's be fair. How much did Spurs buy Bentancur for?
30 million.
Was it anyone know what the exact, hang on, let's have a look. How much did Spurs buy Rodrigo Bentancur for? Oh, I shouldn't have done that voice. It said Bentancur. But yes, listen, thank you for the super chat. English players are expensive. This is just a problem. It's a massive problem.
It was 90 million euros plus 6 million in potential add-ons. So 25 million euros.
25 million euros. How much are you paying for Rodrigo Bentancur if he's English?
Oh, 60, 70, 80 million.
Right.
Look at Mason Mount's example. Is Bentancur better than Mason Mount? Yes. I would say so.
Yes.
And how much did Mason Mount go to Man United for?
Wasn't that 65, was it? Or something ridiculous like that. Big up to Martin Knightsbridge, who has said, have you watched the Ozzy and Romero show? I have. I did watch this interview. Did you see it, Perchy?
I haven't. No, I need to watch this.
I did watch it, yes. It was very interesting reading. I think Romero said all the right things. It was almost as though he'd been media trained to say the right things.
Cynical, I like it.
I'm not. I take
You're
things
right,
like
you
this
are
with a
right,
pinch
though.
of salt. Because like when Romero's sitting there saying, "Oh, I never want to move away from London," and you're thinking, "Oh, I've heard people say this type of stuff before," and
Yeah.
fans go, "Oh my God, Romero's going to be here forever. He doesn't want to ever leave." I don't think he'll be at Spurs forever. But yes, I did, Martin. It was a good watch. What did you make of it? I thought it was really good. Let us know in the chat, people. Big up to Video Complete Sofian, who has said, "Would you take Arthur Vermeeren at Spurs?" I don't know a lot about him. If I'm going to be brutally honest, do you know a lot about him, Perchy?
I'll be honest, no, but I do know he's very, very good on Football Manager. And he's so if we're going to judge the database of Football Manager, then sign him right now. But Football Manager, in fairness, they hardly get it wrong. There's very few players that go wrong, and they do normally get it right. But I can't sit there and say based on me watching this lad play that he's any good. But I just know he's very good on Football Manager. That's all.
Look, I've heard of him. I haven't seen enough of him. He's highly rated. I know he's in the Belgium national team at the age of 18, but I'll go and watch him. I don't know. So I can't. I'd love to sit here and say yes or no, but I'd be really disingenuous.
That's homework for me and Savva to do some research on this kid. There you go. We've got homework to do.
We love a bit of homework. And George, big up, who's always a massive supporter of the channel, has said like and sub to this great fan channel. Listen, one thing we do, whether you agree with us or not, we always try to get as many people interacted with as possible throughout a show. So thank you so much, George. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We're 32 away from the magical 12K, and we do appreciate each and every one of you. Martin Mitesbridge has come back in again. Thank you, Martin. Very, very generous, and said, love the Aussie part. More very nostalgic. Yeah, I think I love watching Ozzy Ardiles. He's just listen, true Spurs legend. A great guy. But listen, Martin, you're a great guy as well. So thank you so much for the super chats. We really, really do appreciate that. Here's an interesting one. People are talking about Joe Roden. I don't know why. What are we talking about Joe Roden for?
Joe Roden. There's no context to it.
Yeah. Is that to do with loans?
Oh, about having a good loan spell. I mean, is he having a good loan spell at Leeds? I'll be honest, it's one of those players I forgot played for Tottenham. Is that mad? I genuinely forgot he played for Tottenham. Out of sight, out of mind kind of feeling.
I think it was just such a bad signing at the time. No offense to the lad, but he should have been, for all those years he was at Spurs not playing football, he should have been in the Championship playing 40 games a season. That's
I was going to say, he's just put in the chat saying, debate about being a good loan. It's a good loan if Leeds sign him. If Leeds sign him and they pay 10 million quid, 15 million quid, whatever it is for him, great signing because he's talking off the book.
I think the origin of the conversation, though, was when as a loan worked in terms of a player going out, coming back, and doing well. And by the way, I'm loving I didn't realise these things at the top. They move in and out where the Football Heritage TV sign is. I love that. Yeah. Big up, Suze. I've not just noticed it.
Nearly an hour and you've not.
I know. In my defence, I'm trying to manage the chat, the super chats. Checking the Barcelona score. I'm looking at the subs, all of this good stuff as well. Let's have a look at some of the comments that have been made within this show. And please smash the like button. We're on 112 likes. There's 213 of you in here. We should be on 150 to 200 likes. Smash that like button, people. Look at some of the comments. We've done that one. I'm going to leave any... Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Every now and then you get a question where you think you're setting us up to be hated. Joe, big up to you. Good swing you've got going on there, my man. Good swing. I said, if a bid came in for Romero, would you consider selling and at what price? Perchy, you're going first.
There, I told you.
Yeah, mate, come on.
No, listen. What I will say, honestly, yes. The answer is yes. I would and that goes not just for him, any player, because no player is bigger than the football club. If a bid comes in for Heung-min Son in the summer, and it's 100, 200 million pound, of course we're accepting.
Yeah,
it all depends on the price tag, right? It depends what the number is. If we get offered 70 or 80 million pound, maybe. I think for me, I think the key bit here is Spurs have to do what we didn't do in the past and learn from our mistakes. When a big offer comes in for a player, it's all about, do you accept it at the right time or decline it? Remember, bear in mind, we had big offers for Eric Dier, Dele Alli in the past, didn't take them, and then it kind of petered off. So the answer is yes. If 90 million pounds comes on the table tomorrow, yeah. 80, yeah. I wouldn't go any lower than 70 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, to answer the actual premise of the question, I'd sell every player for the right price, as Perchy said. There's no need to sell him, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I do think if you can get players like Van der Ven at 40 million, if you can get someone like Jean-Clair Todibo at 35 million, if a bid comes in at 80, 85 million for a Romero, I'd like to think that with proper scouting, you can go and get a defender as good. But that's not me saying there's any need to sell him before everyone thinks I hate him.
But Savva, the key point what you're trying to make here, no, it's not. And we're using Romero's the Romero's the key one here. Any Man City we need to look at Man City and go, Man City don't sit there and rest on their laurels. They sell Mahrez's. They let Gundogan's go on a free because their scouting's good enough. They go, doesn't matter if they go, we'll bring somebody else in. We need to be at that stage where if, for example, Romero comes to the door tomorrow and goes, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm ready to go and Barcelona want me. Cool. We'll let you go then. At the right price for us, and when we've replaced you, we will let you go. What we need to stop getting in the stop sitting at the moment in this mindset of every player is irrelevant, like indispensable. We've got to get to a stage at a football club where players will come and go, big players come and go, and we will go, fine. If we sell Romero for 70 million, man, ignore me, I'm just saying. But we've already got a replacement for him. 30 million pound. You build onto it. The great example is Brighton. Brighton let go of their best players every season, and then they go and replace them. Remember, we have to get back to that.
I think the key thing is, look, I forget that we're talking about Romero. This could be about any player.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
I think the key thing is that things happen, things evolve. Things change very quickly in football.
Yeah.
Someone who's flavour of the month this season, next season isn't. For example, let's use Romero. If I don't know, I don't know if Barcelona in the summer came into Cristian Romero and they said to Spurs, here's 80 million, we want to buy Cristian Romero. Cristian Romero, I don't care what anyone says, is going to have his head turned by Barcelona. Right? You're going to have your head turned by a Barcelona, a club like that. Now, the moment that starts to happen is the moment that it stops becoming about what the fans want and it's about what's best for the club. Is the player invested in the club? Does the player want to move on? That could be Romero. That could be Son. We saw it with Harry Kane this summer. Harry Kane wanted to move on. Harry Kane moved on. All our fans absolutely went berserk about it. But it happens. There is a food chain in football. Is that fair? There is a food chain, and Spurs, unfortunately, we're not at the top of it. We are not at the top of it.
Yep.
There are very few clubs who are at the top of it. There are clubs that try and breach that, but there's very few. I'm talking the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the Bayern Munichs that people told me weren't big enough to get a Harry Kane, right? The Bayern Munichs. These are massive football clubs that when they go in for a player, the player goes, I want to go. So could he stay forever? Sure. I don't think he will personally.
I think this is the point here. I think people misinterpret the question. The question is would you sell him? No, look, if it was tomorrow, no, of course not. If it was to sell him at free will, no, of course not. But the question is what's right for the football club? We're not going to sell Romero for the sake of selling Romero. We're going to sell him because a bigger football club want Cristian Romero.
Yeah,
I think that's the key bit, right?
Yeah, sorry, Angus. I do think, Angus, listen, I'm all for you being in Spurs chats, but I do think you're being a bit silly. There's not a chance Cristian Romero only goes for 40 to 45 million.
No chance.
As Barcelona have just taken the lead through, I want to say, Rafinha, the ex-Leeds winger. Rafinha has just blasted Barcelona into the lead. The reason I say that, it's on Acca Watch. And anyone who comes to our show knows we do Acca Watch. And Barcelona are one of my 5 tonight. And I've got a feeling I know who's going to let me down. I know who's going to let me down.
Don't say it.
I'll say it tonight. I'll get over the line with a 6 o'clock and the others are all 7:38. So, yeah, again, by the way, I just want to say one of the key things. This is when I had my 2-3 weeks away from YouTube. I watched a lot of YouTube shows, funny enough. Like I was watching not just Spurs, but I was watching great content. And what I did realize was the number of people that take topics and debates verbatim is, you know, when a question is asked, it's just a question. So if someone says, would you accept 80 million for Romero? And I say, yes. It's, oh, you can't sell him. Whoa. Hang on. No player for me is indispensable. The same way I was saying, you've got to let Kane go. You've got to let him go. He wants to go. And everyone lost their mind. So look, they're just football questions. And just remember, if we didn't have these football questions, there'd be no discussions, would there?
Of course.
There'd be no discussions at all. Let's see. Another super chat from Martin Knightsbridge, who's been very, 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 very generous. I said, every player has a price apart from Dier. Well.
Perchy,
take it away.
So, reports coming out of Turkey that Eric Dier is very much considering a move to Fenerbahce.
Let's see if I can
find this it. This is. I don't know how much this is true or not, but there it is. There, that Fenerbahce have made an offer. They don't want to sign him at the end of his contract. They want to get him in January. Now, this could be one of those that if I was Tottenham Hotspur, I would sit there and say to them, do a very similar thing to a Dele Alli. Cool, you want him, cool. You can have him for nothing, but if he plays 15 games, we get 10 million. Plays another 10 games, another 10 million. And I think we get it on that level. For me, that could be one of those, because this is it, right? And I hate saying that I'm right, because I don't think I'm right, but it makes sense. One out, one in. And I think we're going to be like that in January. Eric Dier news comes out the same news as Todibo news. That can't be a coincidence. It might be a coincidence. But for me, one out, one in. Dier's going.
I just think most people are going to be very happy to see the back of Eric Dier. Again, we've kept hold of him for way too long. Stuart Reed has said, which player is more of a liability? Romero, both of them at the moment for me on par with each other.
There's no debate on that one. They're both.
I think the difference is that Romero got away with his and Basuma didn't get away with his. Yeah. Otherwise, Romero would have 2 red cards as well. Look, both very good footballers that just need to temper it a tiny little bit for me. But big up, Stuart. Angus, let's go. Let's entertain Angus. How much, everyone in the chat, how much do you think we could get for Saka if we ever sold him, for example? Well, what in the chat, give me your price. What is Bukayo Saka worth? I think that Bukayo Saka, Perchy, is a good footballer that is blown out of all proportions as though he's like Eden Hazard, Ryan Giggs, Gareth Bale, David Ginola, Mark Overmars. He is talked about like he is amazing. I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good player that's growing and getting better. But if I wanted a winger, I wouldn't want to pay anywhere near the 100 million mark for him. I just never. What do you say?
So look, what's he worth and what they'll get are 2 different situations, right? Price is subjective. Look, because it all depends on. I think you made a great point. The price tag for Bukayo Saka is going to be too high for anyone to want to get a hold of him, right? For example, look, let's just say hypothetically, massive hypothetical, Real Madrid will go to the ends of the earth to sign Bukayo Saka. They won't. I think they've got better wingers at the moment. Honestly, that's not me being a Spurs fan. Honestly,
No, they have. They have. They've got better wingers.
Jr. are better wingers than Bukayo Saka. There's no argument and no debate on that one. But the question is let's just say we'll play this silly game we're playing now. If Real Madrid want Bukayo Saka, how much will they let him go before the player says, "I want Real Madrid"? Arsenal are sitting there going, "We want £120 million minimum, 150," or they'll say he's not for sale. Right. So for me, it then comes down to the player. Does the player go, John, my head's turned. I'm not playing for Arsenal again. I want to go to Real Madrid. Now Arsenal will have to try and get the best deal. So Arsenal will try and get around about 120 to 150 million pounds for him. Will the likes of him get that? No. So that for me at the moment is so key here, because it's all relative. Because everyone just talks about how much is he worth. Well, I think Bukayo Saka is a 70 to 80 million pound player. Arsenal fans don't want to hear it, but he is a 70 to 80 million pound player. So, but Arsenal will not let a player like that go, because he is worth more to Arsenal right now than 70 to 80 million pounds. Arsenal sit there, he's homegrown, English, he ticks all the quotas that we need for Europe, and he's an exceptional football player. So Arsenal sit there going, nah, you have to go and break the bank for Bukayo Saka. And Bukayo Saka is not good enough to break the bank. He's not breaking the bank for it. This is where people don't get. Angus, you do this, my friend. This is the thing. Angus, you say that, but he isn't. He's not what he is worth about that. If there was a player with his attributes at the moment, you'd be talking about 70 to 80 million pounds. You're not going to, if Bukayo Saka wasn't English and came through Arsenal's academy, he would be a 60 to 70 to 80 million pound player in that ballpark. And I think this is where people completely lose their mind, because he came through the academy and all this lot. But if Bukayo Saka, because I said to you, if Bukayo Saka came and played through Inter Milan, Ajax, do you know what I'm saying? So it came to Ajax, he came through Valencia, or he came through Atletico Madrid, we wouldn't be talking about this player being worth 150 million pounds. And I think that's the key bit for me. Bukayo Saka is a very, very good football player. Very good football player. No one's arguing that point. But this is the point. And that's where people completely lose their mind from it. So I think I've kind of explained that and gone through it in that sense. I'll explain. Savage just come back. I think Saka, if he wasn't playing for Arsenal and he wasn't English, he'd be a 70 to 80 million pound player. There's a lot of feedback, mate.
For me?
Oh, no, good now. There was a little bit of feedback. I wasn't sure if you were like, you must have bumped something. But look, if Bukayo Saka was playing for Valencia, would he be a 150 million pound player?
No. Listen, Bukayo Saka is a good footballer, but we're doing that thing again. Unfortunately, people like Angus, I love Angus, I have to caveat this all the time, they get so carried away with footballers, right?
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka compared to Mo Salah, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it in terms of what they deliver every season, right? Now, Mo Salah in his peak would have been 150 million. But Bukayo Saka at 150 million now. People are mad. I think the world's gone mad.
But Savva, the point is here, this is the bit though. It's all subjective in a sense, right? And this is my point why I've said it. For Arsenal, he's worth more to Arsenal than 70 to 80 million pounds, because he ticks off homegrown players and he's come through their academy. My point is, I use Real Madrid as my analogy. If Real Madrid wanted Bukayo Saka, they wouldn't be paying 160 million pound for him. They go, for the player of his qualities, we can get a better deal elsewhere. There's someone that was, if Bukayo Saka wasn't playing for Arsenal, and the only way that Bukayo Saka leaves Arsenal right now, Bukayo Saka leaves Arsenal is if an elite football club, a Real Madrid, a Manchester City, Bayern Munich, a Barcelona go, we want Saka. We want him to be our star at this football club. Then he goes. Because his head burns then. That's different.
How on earth is Saka world class? Like
No,
on what planet is Bukayo Saka world class? This is what I mean, Perchy. I say this all the time, right? Football fans get too carried away, right?
Yeah.
What has he done in football to be called world class? I'll wait. Everyone in the chat, right? And Angus, what on earth has he done in football to be labelled world class, right? This is a guy, listen, last year, if he got 14 goals from the right wing, that's good. That's good. Yeah. World class? I mean, are we talking world class? The season before that, 11. This season, he's got 5 in half a season. What part of... I watch him play, and I don't know how young Angus is, and I'm not being rude. I'm not being rude, Angus. But compared to the wingers I grew up with, he is nothing. This guy is he's okay. I don't see him beating his man for fun. I don't see him terrorising. I think he's a good player, right? No, not saying it because I'm a Spurs fan. You know me. I don't care who a player plays for. I'll give you an honest assessment, right? On what metric is he world class? How are we... Okay, look at Jude Bellingham. That guy, every game, right?
Yeah.
For Dortmund, now for Real Madrid, for England, you go, wow, right? Wow. I now watch Saka. There's nothing in it between the two. Forget the positions. As footballers, there's nothing in it, right? So why is this guy labelled as world class?
Because he plays for Arsenal.
I've just got no idea. I've got no idea.
Do you know what? You're right. I don't think Saka's world class. I think he's one of those players that he is what I would consider 2023 world class.
Agreed.
Not world class when I was growing up. When I was growing up, you had to be one of the best players in those positions to be considered world class. Nowadays, a player has a good season and it's, he's world class. Oh, he's only 22, he's world class. No, he's not. Here's my point here. If Bukayo Saka was world class, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City would all be going, we will go to heaven and earth to sign him. What did Real Madrid do? They went and spent and bought a 16-year-old from Brazil instead. If he's what, do you know what I mean? The big football clubs in this world go, we'll get Saka. We are bigger and better than Arsenal. We will get in Bukayo Saka, right? And you're right.
I mean, look, this is D. Sinclair. I think this is the thing. It depends on age. I think if any of the people that are calling Bukayo Saka world class had seen Ginola play, had seen Giggs play, Overmars, Andre Kanchelskis, the David Beckhams, the Arjen Robbins, the Frank Ribery's, these were serious world-class footballers. Saka's a good player, but it seems now, Perchy, that it's almost become a dirty word it's almost become not acceptable for a player to just be very good. It's almost like if you say a player's very good, it's like, you hate him. What? No, I think Bukayo Saka as well, he's young. He's young. Can he grow? Can he get better? Sure. But I'm asking people the question, what is the metric? Why on earth would anyone make the debate for Bukayo Saka being world class? Based off of what? He's never done anything to carry a team over a line for me, right? In massive games, am I seeing him be the one that steps up and carry his team? No. Right? I've seen games where Chelsea were piss poor, but Eden Hazard just went.
Right?
I've seen
Gareth Bale at Tottenham.
These players are world class. And yes, Angus, this is the point. This is the point. So before you talk about him being 150 million and world class, let him get to the level of these players. He might, he might not.
I think Sean's got a great point in the chat. He said,
no, he's not. Sorry, I'm not having that.
Sean put a great point in the chat. 5 right wingers. If you can name 5 right wingers better than Saka, easy. I think that's easy, right?
I don't even think you need to name, just because I look, this notion that the top 5 players in their position in the world are world class. What if they're not all very good? Like,
I don't judge you like that personally.
Look how weak goalkeepers are now compared to what they used to be.
Yeah.
How many world-class strikers are there now compared to what they used to be?
Yeah,
How many? If I said to you right now, give me 5 world-class right backs, go. Give me off the top of your head. Don't think about it. Go. 5 world-class right backs.
Oh, Cafu, Gary Neville.
Now, playing now.
Right now, 5 world-class right backs. Kyle Walker. Oh gosh,
Right. Okay. So the fact that Kyle Walker came to your head, right? This is the difference. Back in the day, you used to be able to go, oh my God, boom, 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 boom. Goalkeepers used to go, you know, Buffon, Buffon, Pagliuca, Manuel Neuer, Peter Schmeichel, David Seaman, this. There's nothing like it now. So I just think that I love the world class. We could have the world class conversation all day, every day.
We'll do a world class stream at some point because we are world class YouTubers. That's what we are.
Absolutely. Like if you look at Bukayo Saka this year, right? Bukayo Saka, listen, he's had a good year. It's a good year. He's got 11 goal contributions in 16 games, right? Now, if I look at Mo Salah, who I don't even think is playing well, when I watch Mo Salah this season, I'm really disappointed with him, right? I thought he was crap the other day, right? Mo Salah has got 18 goal contributions, right? So even a Mo Salah who is not on form has 18 goal contributions in the Premier League versus Mo Salah's 11. So straight away, he's not even the best winger in the Premier League.
He's not. No, that's
the Premier League. So where is this world class coming from? Like, I just don't understand how it's been watered down. That's what the thing for me.
And what I would say to end it all in this point, if Bukayo Saka played for Tottenham, Angus would not be calling him world class.
No, of course he wouldn't. But Angus just said Cristian Romero was worth 45 million and that Bentancur's not that good. So if Bentancur played for Arsenal, right, Angus would be sitting in the chat going, oh, he's 130 million. He's brilliant. He's the best player I've ever seen. But because they, you know, I've said it, right? I look through the leagues right now. I love how our streams just go off in complete tangents. I love it.
It's all fun and games.
All football, right? When I look across the world of football now, I see hardly any world-class footballers anywhere. Yeah. Hardly anywhere. I look at Barcelona compared to I look at Barcelona right now. Have Barcelona, who used to have 11 world-class players, they got any world-class players in their team?
Yeah. Lewandowski.
Is he still now, though? Like, if I've been watching Lewandowski this season. He scores the odd goal, but he looks gone. Like his touch, his build-up play. All right, Lewandowski.
Maybe for that one, I'd put Lewandowski. I think I get your point. He hasn't been great this season. Barcelona been awful this season.
Who else other than Lewandowski?
I don't think they've got anyone else. I think they've got a couple of players that could be, but they're not there yet. No way.
Right, agreed. Okay, now look at Real Madrid. How many world-class players at Real Madrid?
Real Madrid. Oh gosh.
Vinny Jr.
Vinicius Jr. is world class. I'd put Jude Bellingham in that conversation at the moment. Now,
I still think he needs to. For me, I'm gonna be. I think Jude Bellingham is a top footballer. For me, again, to go into that world class bracket, I think he's got to do something of note. I think he's got to drag Real Madrid to.
I think what he's doing at the moment at Real Madrid is. Maybe look.
Not over the first 17 games of a season. Surely world class needs to be judged.
Yeah, I get that, but he was doing it at Dortmund as well. By the way, so like I know what you're saying, but he was doing it at Dortmund as well.
Sure, but you get my point. Like I don't think that because a player has a really good bit of form, we go world class. For me, they've got to do something. Saka's not done anything in the world of football. Right?
No, I agree.
Saka for me has not done anything in the world of football. If for the last 3-4 years, Bukayo Saka had been getting 30 goal contributions every single season, year in, year out, I'll turn around and go, yeah, he's class. But it's just biased. But yes. For me, this is it. He's in the wonder kid bracket. For me, in 2 years, he'll be one of the best in the world.
Look, okay, I can kind of understand where you're coming from on that. So if you use that, like, I think, but Real Madrid at the moment are in a different phase, right? I know we like to talk about phases. They're in that kind of regrouping the crop and starting again, right? They brought in young lads like Camavinga, Tchouameni, Bellingham's obviously still young, Vinicius Junior is still young. They've got Rodrigo on the other wing. So in that sense, they bring in Endrick, who's coming in very soon. In next year, he's a superstar in the making.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid who are the Galacticos, have gone down this kind of mini Galactico route by going, do you know what we'll do is we'll pick up all the best 17 to 21-year-olds and put them into a team and create like a squad that will go on for 10 years and be amazing. So, yeah, in that sense.
Listen, when you say do we tend to fit the players of our youth or childhood, I mean, forget about youth or childhood. These players, there were just brilliant players everywhere. When I was growing up, Aqua Subs, there wasn't, like right now, if I said to you, name me 5 strikers who guarantee you 25, 30 a season. Go. Right now.
Oh, me? Oh, Fowler. Owen.
No. Right now. Right now.
Right now. The guarantee you 30. Kane, Haaland. Trying to think who has. I mean, Salah's not a striker. I'm not counting that. Am I missing anyone big?
Right.
Actually, it's just those two.
So do you? Right. And when I was growing up, there were 30, 40, 50, 60 of them across Europe who guaranteed you 20, 25, 30 goals a season. Yeah, this isn't about nostalgia. Football has changed somewhat. It's I mean, Osman has one season over 20.
Yeah, I think one season. Football's become shout out to Mr. Box Office, because Mr. Box Office said it's all become system based now. Football has become a system based where you don't have to get that. Whereas before it was all about you get the best strikers in, you'll win it, and you get 2 of them. Teams used to have 2 strikers in their teams that would get them 20 goals each. They used to have that sort of thing. It's slightly different now, right?
Yeah. Listen, I love how the conversation always goes to this. Look, at the end of the day,
Mbappe's the other one as well.
Mbappe. If we're going to call Mbappe a striker, yeah. I mean, but again, I'm not hating on Saka. I think Saka's a very good footballer. I just don't know why the rush to call everyone world class. I don't know why the rush to okay. Do you know, we always talk about this, Perchy. If people want to call players world class, right? This goes for all fans. This goes for all fans of all clubs.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. If you want to put someone there, right? Okay, Bukayo Saka, for example, is world class. That's what Angus and other Arsenal fans will say. Cool. So then in all the biggest games, and when it comes to crunch time, when this guy doesn't deliver, don't be coming at me going, but no, you put him on that pedestal.
Yeah.
Not me. You put him on that pedestal, right? I don't ever watch Arsenal and think, wow, you are electric. Do you know what I mean? I watched Bale. I watched Hazard, Giggs. I watched these players and went, wow. Like, just when they got the ball at their feet, they were mesmerizing. I know I always talk about this guy, Ginola. If Saka was worth 150 million, what is this guy worth? What would this guy be worth? But I wouldn't expect that Angus would have seen a player like David Ginola in his peak. So look, it's all good fun.
I think. So yeah, go, mate. All I was going to say, I think you got a great point there, and I think it's not. By the way, it's not just Arsenal. I think everyone gets that. I think when you give someone the world class title, you have to stick. If you don't stick with it, then they're not world class. As you say, no excuses, right? I say this when people put Son in that world class bracket. Okay, But I also had the point that when people did that, I said, fine, but I will judge him on a world-class standard. I will judge him. If it wasn't before, we used last season. Like, I know he had that hernia thing last season and in that sense, but last season, everyone called him world-class, but then he didn't do anything last season. He wasn't very good last season. So you have to, if you're going to put someone on that bracket, you've then got to accept the criticism, right? And that's how it works.
Absolutely. The best in the world are vilified when they don't perform. This is, look at Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, every single big game he played, Michael Jordan turned up and dominated, right? Wayne Gretzky in the ice hockey, right? What's his name? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
In the American football. These people were world-class for a reason because these were the big guns. Messi.
I was just going to say,
Mbappe.
Messi at Barcelona had a handful, 4 or 5 games where he wasn't great. He was getting pelters from the Barcelona fans. I remember it. He was getting pelters. This is the best player in the world. So this is the difference, right? Ronaldo at Juventus. Ronaldo went to Juventus, was getting pelters because he had a bad season. Because these players are put up here. So they are judged at that level at every single second. That's the only thing.
Yeah, listen, Soul Legacy say Kane never turned up in big games for Spurs. Listen, this is why I've always had the question mark over Kane. Listen, Kane is a world-class goal scorer. For me, he's got to show it at some point. I've said this all along. He has got to show it at some point in the biggest of games. He didn't do that for Tottenham. He's got to do that for Bayern Munich. And I'm talking about Champions League semi-finals. When they're not playing well and you need someone to grab the ball and do something out of the blue. This is what the best players do. Gareth Bale for Real Madrid in finals was phenomenal. He would, everyone knows his goals in final where he ran the entire length of the pitch and scored when he ran off the pitch. The overhead kick in the Champions League final. Big players, big moments. You've got to deliver. Yeah, you have to deliver.
But do you know what? Like, to use a Kane, someone in the chat, big up to you, just said Kane is world class. I will say he is world class. But what's the point? What Savva's trying to make here? It's great scoring loads and loads of goals. It's great. But can he do it when it matters? That's the key bit. And he never got, and you could argue he never got the opportunity. Well, he did to a certain extent in finals. You could argue he wasn't great in finals.
For England and Spurs. He had multiple finals, semi-finals.
So I'm Kane's biggest supporter in that sense. But it's a point, right? The difference is, and Kane came out and said it, so before anyone criticizes me, Harry Kane said it himself.
Yeah.
The level of pressure at Bayern Munich is astronomical compared to Tottenham, because at Tottenham, people were happy when they didn't mind it if we didn't win. I'm expected to win at Bayern Munich. That's the difference, right? He's at a team where you're not expected to win, to a team that managers got sacked for winning the league.
Don't win.
Well, managers have got sacked for winning the league before at Bayern Munich. They have to go and win stuff at Bayern Munich. That's the difference, right?
It's the pressure. Listen, no one's saying, I think Harry Kane is a world-class finisher. There's no doubt about it. I think right now in world football, if I've got anyone through on goal, it's him or Haaland, right? To score goals. But for me, I think for Kane to be remembered as a legend, he needs to do what he went to Bayern Munich for. That's what he needs to do.
And win the big trophies.
Go and win the big trophies. Big up to Oryx Beats. Hope you are well. Member for 5 months has said, big up, guys. Off topic, but how long do you see Son staying a constant starter in our team? I personally think this is his last season as a regular. I don't know. I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be around next year as well. I'm guessing as long as his legs hold up, as long as he's still got some of that pace about him. What I don't think Son is, I think Son is one of those that once the pace goes, I don't think he'll be anywhere near effective. Whereas players like Kane, Sheringham, once, I mean, not that they had loads of pace anyway, they were able to drop deep and dictate, which is something that Sonny can't do. So it'll be interesting to see, but I don't see any immediate worries. Do you?
No, I don't think, not short term. I'll be honest, I think I go backwards and forwards. I think if the opportunity to catch in Heung-min Son at the end of, say, a season where he's going to be 32 and go, do you know, and you can get stupid money for, I'm not talking about 50 million quid. I'm talking about if a Saudi club went and put in 150 million pound on the table, I wouldn't blink twice. I'd take the money at the end of the day. But I'll be honest, I don't think Son's leaving. I think Son will retire at Tottenham, if I'm personally honest. I genuinely think he retires at Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely. And just before we go, we're going to go 5 minutes. Thank you to everyone. Smash the like button. Keep smashing the like button. 230 of you in here, only 141 likes. And we're only 29 away from the 12K.
Come on, guys. Let's do it today.
Come on. The link is in the chat. Let's see. It would be absolutely amazing if we could do that. What was I going to say? Big up to you, Josh, at Spurs Live. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Who is Ginola? I'm not even going to.
Wow.
I'm not even going to answer that. Martin Knightsbridge, again, very, 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 very generous. I said Ginola today versus Saka today. Who are you buying? Men v boys. I think if somebody like Angus had seen Ginola play, he would watch Ginola, then watch Saka and go, yeah, I've been a little bit hasty here. So it is what it is. Where are we? So big up, Martin. Thank you for all your donations today. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. We're only 28 away. So we're getting there. It'd be lovely to do it today, if not by the end of the week. Villa 1982, the best year in the world, 1982, by the way, has said it looks like Aston Villa are going to sign Jadon Sancho. What do you make of it? And possibly Tammy Abraham, Frimpong coming in. What do you make of that if Villa get them? What I mean, if we're talking about Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen,
the right back,
top player.
And mate, he is
top player.
I'll tell you what, look, I'll put it out there. If Villa can get all those three, I'll hold my hands up and go, fair play. To then imagine having a strike partnership of Ollie Watkins and Tammy Abraham. And we haven't even talked about, look, I think, do you know what? This is going to sound crazy. I think Jadon Sancho going to Aston Villa, it would be one of the biggest moves for him. I think that's quality business for him because
You watch Unai Emery get the best out of him if he goes there. Watch.
I think that is if Villa can get a hold of Jadon Sancho, I think they can transform him, gets him out of the limelight. And by the way, the Villa fan, don't take this in a bad way. Take this as a compliment. Villa aren't there's no drama around Villa in a sense. Like they're not. Do you know what I mean? The spotlight's not necessarily on Aston Villa all the time. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good place for and I think he could flourish there. And Frimpong, we don't have to talk. I think he's a right back at the moment that is top draw right now. If you get all three, fair play.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you've got Sancho on the left, Dier on the right, and then you've got players like Zaniolo and Bailey as backups. You've got Watkins and Abraham as strike options. Frimpong, I mean, listen, Villa will look serious and have serious depth as well. Depth is everything. Ed M has said every time Ginola got the ball, hair on the back of your neck stood up. Honestly, right now, as you say that, the hair on my arm stands up because watching him, people call it nostalgic. This guy was different. Different. Spurs Live, Josh has said, lads, Vicario is signing of the season, in my opinion. What you saying? Perchy?
Signing of the season, I'm going to say no. If you said best value signing of the summer, yes, 100%. I think pound for pound on value, he was the best. I think if we're talking just Tottenham, I'm still just putting James Maddison a little bit ahead of him. Just a little bit, because I think James Maddison has been transformative. By the way, I love Vicario, so both of them have been outstanding. But I think if you're going to talk on value, I think value for money, for output, Vicario hands down.
Yeah. He said he means Tottenham signing of the
Yeah,
season.
I'm going to say Madison, but Vicario's a close second.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else, Perchy, before we go? Because, by the way, guys, we've been going for an hour and 37 minutes. We are live for a Liverpool-West Ham, a chilled-out watch-along. Anyone that hasn't seen it, please, if you do turn up, just know that it's for us to have fun. And we watch the game. There's no pressure because we're not West Ham fans or Liverpool fans. So please join us for that. Anything else to say, Perchy?
No, listen, I think this has been quite a good stream. When we started about the news, talk about the news that obviously that came out about Todibo. So look, we will keep you guys posted if anything new comes on that. Make sure you like the stream. Let's get this over to 200 likes. Come on, guys. There's 200 of you in here. So not every one of you in here right now has liked the stream. So smash the likes. I've redirected it already for you to come over to the watch along, which starts in about 45 minutes.
About 35 minutes, yeah.
35 minutes. So
listen,
go over there, guys.
Let's play the game.
I'm going to set you a little target, guys. You're all going to go over there after here. Before we even start the stream, can we get to 50 likes? How about that? Do that, and we'll have a real chilled out one and all that lot. And Savva might go and order some McDonald's or something.
I was about to say, please, right now, put in the chat, what takeaway do you think Savva should get tonight? I do it because the missus is out tonight. So I'm getting
it all makes sense now. There we go.
Do you know what? The Ring doorbell is charging, so she won't even see that I've had a takeaway. So what should I get tonight? Spurs Live has gone with a cheeky little Nando's.
Nando's delivery, is that a thing?
Yeah, of course it's a thing. Where do you live?
Spain. We don't have Nando's here.
Oh, see, that's where you're going wrong. GBC thinks I should get some Haribo. I love a Haribo. I don't quite think that's going to be my dinner, though. Master Goat has gone with Indian. I had a curry the other night. Oh, it fills me up. It really, really does.
You love a curry.
Mario 2012 has gone with nuggets. Oh, I don't know. Nuggets are nice and easy to eat while you're on stream. William has gone with a Chinese chicken nugget challenge during the stream. Oh, KFC. Oh, I do like a KFC. Big up to everyone. A cheeky pizza.
I'm gonna order some sushi.
I had Domino's last night. God, I'm going to get fat again. At the moment, I'm keeping all the weight off. Lamb kebab. A lamb kebab George has gone with. So, cheeky five, guys. Oh, cheeky
rated for me.
Oh, shut up. What a stupid thing.
Overrated. We do get five guys here, but he's a little bit overrated for me. I think I make better.
Just a McFlurry. Nothing else from McDonald's. Just a McFlurry.
I love it.
I love that. Just a cheeky McFlurry. Where are we? Where are we? Chicken and chips. I love just chicken and chips. Savlaki. Are you talking about Savlaki? No. I reckon Perchy does because he's just that sort of bloke. You do.
Listen, I'm not for or against it. I'm on the fence. But what I will say on that is, unpopular opinion: veggie pizzas better than meat pizzas. I'll put that one out there.
Sorry, everybody, about Perchy. Sorry, everyone. I don't know where I met this guy. What do you mean?
I just find when you put meat on a pizza, it becomes all greasy. Like you put pepperoni, all greasy. Like when you put veg on it, there's no grease, so it's quite nice. I prefer thin crust over thick crust always. Yeah, easy.
And just before we go, talking away from food, first of all, big up to Oryx Beats. Has said, sorry, I didn't clarify. I meant this might be Son's last season as a starter, not his last at Spurs. I see him being a super sub in the coming years. I think at some point he'll dwindle down. I agree with you. Whether or not it's next year, I don't think so. But listen, a year is a long time in football. The team news is out for anyone that cares. There's been multiple changes from both clubs. Liverpool have gone with Kelleher in goal, Joe Gomez, Quansah, Tsimikas and Van Dijk as their back four. They've gone with a midfield three of Curtis Jones, Endo and Harvey Elliott. And then they've got Szoboszlai, Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo as their front three. Yeah. And West Ham have gone with, they've made changes. They've gone with Areola in goal. They've gone with Ben Johnson, Mavropanos, Ogbonna and Kufau. At the back, a midfield three of Fornals, Edson Alvarez. Sorry, it's not in order, so I'm just trying to do it myself. Souček, Fornals, and Edson Alvarez with Kudus, Jared Bowen, and Sayed Ben Rama up top. So that means you've got players like Alexander-Arnold, Luis Diaz, Konate, Salah, Zuma, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, Emerson, all on the bench. So it should be a good game. We will see you later. Much love. Smash that like button on your way out. Love you all. Thank you for absolutely everything. And as always, what is it, Perchy?
Come on, you Spurs.